Hello, Boss here. Welcome to the set 15 pre-release rundown. This new set is called KO Colosseum, and it's an anime team set this time, which is why I'm in a VTuber model. This rundown is mainly for people who haven't played PB and want to be up to date what is good or bad in the meta, so let's get right into it. They changed mana, they reworked mana in the set for balancing purposes. And they gave all the champions a role, and these roles function how they gain mana over time. These roles are tank, fighter, assassin, marksman, caster, and specialist, and we'll go over them one by one. Tanks gain mana from getting hit, 5 mana to be exact. Fighters, assassin, and marksman gain 10 mana. However, fighters also gain 10% omnivamp, and assassins are less likely to get hit. Which means if there's a 50-50, if the enemy champion has a 50-50 of targeting the assassin or a non-assassin, they will always target the one that's not an assassin. And marksmen just gain mana from out-attacking. But usually you just put a Rage Blade on them, and then, yeah, they gain a lot of mana. Magic casters, they gain less mana than the other three. They gain 7 mana to be exact, however they get 2 mana per second over time. Specialists, they gain mana in unique ways, and I can't really explain them because it's different for each specialist. Yeah. More mana changes. They also changed tier. It used to give flat mana. Now it gives 1 mana regen per second. With this tier change, they also changed a lot of tier items, of course. Spirit Visage, Fourth Staff, and Archangels are now really good items, even though some were already good. Spirit Visage, I'm pretty sure Spirit Visage is now like one of the best tank items in the game. Better than Warmox, to be exact. Also, other items that don't build with tier also got mana regen, like Nashus and Morelos. Also, I'm pretty sure Morelos is the best anti-U item in the game now, because there's almost no red buff users, only Jinx and Varus, and Sunfire. Yeah. One other notable item change is Edge of Night. It gives AP and attack speed, and you don't get a buff anymore when the champion gets low. So, alright. With the mana change, you're probably wondering what's better, blue buff or Shojin. Reddit user Dolphin can be drowned made a calculation, and it resulted in blue buff is equal to powered for Shojin when the attack speed is 0.8. However, that doesn't take into account the mana lock of animations. So like Brent in set 14, when he casted, it took like he was mana locked for like a whole 2 seconds because it took ages for him to take the animation. So I would assume 0.85 is when you want to switch over to Shojin. Alright, traits and meta. We're gonna go over every trait in the game, and we're gonna take into account the current state of the traits, the flexibility of the trait, and utility strength. And we're gonna go from bottom to top, so D tier to S tier. But it can vary a lot from the live patch, because they're probably gonna change a lot from the live patch. Yeah. Alright, the worst fucking trait in the game is Executioners. This trait just fucking sucks. Here you have the set 14 Executioners, which gives durability at 5, but as you can see in set 15, it doesn't give durability anymore, so your champions are really squishy. And they are actually worse. These champions are actually worse than what they were in set 14. Like Akali is a 4 cost. She jumps in and just get 1 shot, and the other ones don't really do damage. Ryze is your best Executioner, but he doesn't really use Executioner to be good, so yeah, I don't know. Also, they have Golden Guillotine. It's similar to like the old augment, where you also gain loot from Executioners. However, this time you have to kill them, not crit, to gain loot. And I don't think you're killing anyone with these shitters who get CC'd and get 1 shot when they jump in. No. Sorceress. It's this trait also just sucks, but AP version. usually you play, when you're playing sorcerers, you play like at most 2. The good thing about this trade is Karma and Gwen are very good units. Like really, really good units. If you're gonna play this trade vertical, there's no frontline at all. You have Cannon and Swain. That's not gonna cut it. Swain 3 is not gonna carry your whole frontline. Yeah, and like the most most common comp you're gonna play is Ari reroll with Ari 3, Swain 3, and Nico 3. Right. C tiers. Lulu, Monster Trainer. It's just a reroll comp. When you get Lulu, you get to choose between 1 of the 3 units. Kormal, it's a magic marksman, so you put Rageblade on them, Archangels, Gunblades, whatever. Ramus, you just put tank items on them, magic tank, you get a chest of it. Smolder, attack caster, you put blue buff on them, and Infinity Edge, and then you're done. And like, the usual comps are just a frontline trait plus the units, and maybe a 5 cost on level 8 if you reach that threshold. Like you can play, the most common one is Juggernaut. You can play Bastion, Protector, Heavyweight, whatever. And Ramus is, but like these 2 are not very good and get easily outcapped. Ramus is pretty good, but like you have to find the space for Ramus. Because, yeah, usually there's no space for Ramus. Alright, duelists. It's also a reroll comp. Only thing good about this, it's flexible. You can play Kill reroll, GP reroll, Kaiser reroll, Udyr reroll, Viego reroll. However, this trait doesn't make your team very tanky. And it needs to ramp up. What duelist does is every time one champion auto-attacks, they gain attack speed. And like at max tech they attack really fast. However, the fights in TFT usually don't take that long, and they are usually done within seconds, unless you're playing low elo. And yeah, because you don't reach that threshold, duelists don't really do a thing. Also, the forecast Ashe is not very good. Yeah, she looks cool, but she doesn't do any damage at the moment. And it's not a very good DPS. Heavyweights, you don't really play this vertical, except if you're playing Direwolf reroll, which is really strong. Normally you play at most 2, because you can play Kobuko plus Poppy, Kobuko plus Jace, or whatever. But like, you don't really play vertical because these the secondary traits with heavyweights are not really flexible, to be honest. B-tier comps, Crystal Gambit, 3 Crystal Grab. This comp I'm not really sure about because 3 Crystal is it says here, and 5 is but like in PB I couldn't like last week because everyone is playing for win out and are just sacking the boards. We're playing really weird boards, playing really weak boards. So I don't know anything about the cash outs. 7's Giga broken. The strategy is you play whatever and optimize Econ until stage 4 and get 5 Crystal in at level 8, and then go fast 9 to find Syra. Afterwards you snowball, and yeah, it's really hard to outcap you because you keep getting rewards every 4 rounds. So yeah. Battle Academia, really strong units. It was the strongest trait by far for half the PB. And you can play, it's really flexible. You can play 1 cost reroll, 3 cost reroll, or the 4-2 roll down for 4 costs. So you can play Ezreal, Garen reroll, Katarina, Rakani reroll even, or Caitlyn Jace, or go for 2-star Leona, 2-star Yumi. Under here you see this is the 4 cost version, and this is the Caitlyn version. Yeah, nothing to say about it. It's really easy to hit this prismatic, to be honest, where you need 160 items fielded. Mentor's a really good splash rate. It's hard to play for at 4. I don't always want to play 4 because the mentor bonuses you only get into effect when it only affects the mentor units unless you have an augment, a special augment. But like, there's a comp which is called Mentor Mech. You play 5 mentors, 5 mechs and 4 mentors, and then you're gonna go fast 9, which you can easily stabilize with. Reroll Yasuo Udyr's also for the 4 mech, 4 mentor, the mentor mech. Yeah, the mentor mech comp. On level 9, you usually just throw away the cheaters for mighty mech and then just play 5 cost later. That's really strong because you can go 9 for free. Bastion Juggernaut is free as fuck. It's just a tank unit. It's just a tank trait. Yeah, it's a good tank trait. Nothing to say about it. Yeah. Prodigy. They are strong units. And she's also a good item holder because he's a hybrid caster. So you can put in mana items, put in AP items, put on AD items on them. Plus one's very good because you don't have to play Malzar. And you can, instead of playing Malzar, you can play a good frontline. Also, because Prodigy gives your whole team mana, and mana's always good, especially with the new mana changes, because you don't really gain mana anymore from your carries getting hit by poke. But it's not really a good splash trade, because you normally only play it when you're playing Battle Academia, so yeah. Snipers. It's a good splash trade, good late game, good early. However, yeah, a lot of comps use 2 or 3 of them. There's only 1 late game comp, and you need to find Varus, and you get outcapped, and the trade keeps getting nerfed, so it's at B tier for now. Yeah, what to say? Yeah, it keeps getting nerfed, so yeah, I don't know. This Varus unit is not very good at the moment. People tend to put items on Jinx now instead, so yeah, deal with that information what you will. Protectors, it's a good splash trade. You play 2, but not impressive. If you want to go vertical, it's not impressive without the augment preemptive protection, which gives combat at the combat starts, protects shield themselves at their closest ally for 40% of their max health. And shield stack. So you're gonna have like a Rakan, which is becoming unkillable. And the only vertical comp you're gonna play with is like Janna Rakan reroll. Wraith. These units are not very flexible, and the trade kind of sucks if enemies enter you, because what Wraith does. Okay, this is the good part. Every 5 seconds, the Shadow Realm strikes 3 close enemies, dealing total magic damage equal to the portal of damage dealt. So you want a lot of damage, and you lower health. Wraith heals for 80% of the damage dealt by Wraiths in the Shadow Realm. So imagine low HP Xante, which just gets healed to full health again. However, if the enemy builds anti-heal, your trade's just fucked. Yeah. Also, Kill is not very strong until level 9, because that's what Kill does. She's really strong though if you have her 3-star and you can go level 9. However, yeah, I don't know when are you gonna get that much econ. And Zeg and Malzar are not very good unless they are 3-star. Also, +1, like if you get an emblem of Wraith, I think this comp is low-key low A tier. So now to the A tier comes. Star Guardian, very IA, really flexible. You can play Xayah Rakan reroll with fan service. You can play Ari Nico Swain reroll, or you can go vertical. Vertical at the moment is really strong, but you have to get Seraphine. But it's easy to go 9 because you can easily stabilize on 8, because these other Star Guardian units are really strong. Mighty Mech, treats good early. It's just the 3-piece mech is a good frontline early game. Power's kind of useless, and 7's good late. However, the lower cost units kind of suck. Lucian's kind of bad, Asia's kind of bad, Senna's kind of bad. If you find a GP too early, though, I think you can go 9, because like really quickly, because GP2 when you give him a power up, he farms you a lot of gold. You have infinite econ and gun 9 very early in the game. Also, this 7 mech is very strong late, especially if you find the power up. If you find 2 powers of mech pilot, this mighty mech will be unkillable in the late game. Soul Fighter, this trait is solid all game long, to be honest. But it's hard to get 8 without like the emblem because of Gwen, because Gwen is the 5 boss of this trait, and it's not guaranteed that you're gonna find her on level 8. If you're gonna find the emblem though, it's very good because then you're gonna easily play the vertical version. But it gets outcapped like most vertical boards late game. Also, this Lux unit fucking sucks. Don't put items on her until she's getting buffed. This champion is disgustingly bad. Also, usually you don't play vertical. You play 6. You drop Ballista and you drop Vigo for like Edgelord, Volibear, and Brom to pair with it on level 9, which is a really strong comp. Right, now to Edgelords. It's better duelists. You don't have to ramp up. So many units with good traits. They are very flexible. Also, the units are very strong late game, except Sayak. Sayak kinda sucks, honestly. It's hard to outcap. However, it's kinda useless early game. Also, you need to be wealthy to play this comp. Crew. Crew is very easy to play. You need to hit 1 3-star, and then you can push to level 7 and roll for the rest of the crew units to a 3-star. And then you probably have solid econ to go level 9. Because with 3, when you have 2 3-star crew units, you get free rerolls every turn, and you're probably hitting TF on level 7 or 8 while you're rolling. So yeah. However, it gets outscaled, and it's probably like a top for a comp. All right, S tier. Luchador. I don't know how to pronounce it. However, it's a good splash rate. Every Luchador unit needs HP and AD. So yeah, this trait is really good. It stuns, it heals the Luchador units, it gives AD, and all the Luchador units are very good. Also, the lead back drops aggro, so that your Luchador units don't die immediately after jumping. And the Luchador augments are also pretty good, especially when you're playing Volibear. This is the Edgelord Luchador comp. It's probably my favorite. Yeah. You just play in our early game and then switch to Volibear when you hit him. Yeah, and it's easy to go level 8 and then level 9 you put in a random 5 cost. Also, when you get Tournament of Titans, you want to win streak early, and then this Volibear is going to be unplayable, unkillable. Lastly, strategists. 5 strategists really broken, by far the best late game splash rate. All the units are very flexible, except for 6, and the spat is also very good. The spat gives you a damage amp and durability, and if the holder of the strategist emblem gives the unit on the left and the right either 20 armor and magic resist on the front line, and 50 attack speed on the back line. Also, there's an Isekai augment. Isekai augment gives you an echo, doesn't take a unit slot. His spells are very strong, and if you give him a strategist, he deals a lot of damage. Isekai gives echo can be a strategist, sorcerer, or prodigy, but I like the strategist one the most, so yeah. And there's one trait that I haven't talked about, which is Supreme Cell. So I couldn't rank it. It's very in power, not a usual splash rate, because when you're playing Supreme Cell, you play around the Supreme Cell unit. Yeah, well, on bottom left you see the Darius reroll comp. That one is so strong, like really, really broken. Also, if you have an artifact, Darius can use most artifacts, and it makes it like S tier. However, there's also the Kai'Sa reroll comp. However, Kai'Sa's kind of bad at the moment. She doesn't do a lot of damage, so yeah. Don't rate it really highly, but maybe later it could be good. Also, there's kind of hero augment, and Akali is kind of worthless. Okay, now to the small things you might want to know. Power-ups. Scaling and gold generating power-ups stop showing up after stage 2 or 3. Some power-ups are tailored to traits active. So when you want mech pilots, you want to put in 3 mechs at least. Power-ups have a determined weight of showing up. So like for Zyrokan, fan service, it's kind of hard to get fan service because there's a less likely chance of them than showing up than generic power-ups. Also, there's no dupes after refresh, so if you remove the Devil Fruits from the units, you can get the same 3 choices that you had earlier. Also, Lulu pets have their own champion pool, so there can be a 3-star Rammus in the game, 3-star Smolder, and a 3-star Kog'Maw. Also, there's Akali positioning. Also, this Akali is on the wrong side. It should be here. If you position Akali here, it goes to the bottom left corner, or the middle. If you position Akali here, it goes to the middle or to the right corner. Also, there's Long Gwen. If you have 2 snipers focuses, or 3, but like 2 is enough, it hits the whole board of the enemy team. And it's especially good this set because tickling enemy units don't give them mana. A few other broken combinations. In Locket Nafiri. If you have Nafiri early game with Innervating Locket, she has 30 mana and she will cast infinitely, healing infinite, and being unkillable, even at 1-star. Darius, he can use like 5 different artifacts and will be fucking broken on 3-star. Ari with Ludens, Ari with Fishbones, really good with the reroll comp. Malzar reroll is really good with only Blinding Jewel. Ludens Kalista. I'm not gonna say a lot about it, but there's a special positioning for Ludens Kalista, and it will like one-shot the whole board. Long Lee Sin. It hits a big lump and also the backline. Also, lastly, Caitlyn with Water Lotus. Her ability does her ability Magic Bouncing Bullets. It fires a bullet at a farthest enemy, dealing physical damage to the first target. The bullet bounces to a nearby enemy, dealing physical damage. And with Caitlyn reroll, you play 7 Academia. This bullet bounces around. However, this bullet counts as an auto attack. So they reworked Piercing Lotus into Water Lotus because it used to give Shred. Now it gives mana. Yeah. And because the bullets can critically strike, every cast of Caitlyn gains infinite mana with this augment, so she can cast again and one-shot like the whole backline. Well, this is it. This is it for the rundown. If you have any questions, I can answer them in the comments or like in the DMs. I'm gonna be live tomorrow to climb for the first time in set 15. I'll be live on Twitch, and I hope you learned something for this rundown, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.